Have you been performing ball mastery, passing, and dribbling drills that are rep-based all the time since you pretty much started training by yourself? Although these are a great place to start working on your technique, they don't really offer a stimulus that's skill-specific. And if you have watched any of our previous videos on technical skill development, you probably know that technique and skill are similar yet totally different. On one hand, technique is the execution of a technical action of the game in the most energy and time-efficient manner, while skill is technique combined with problem solving. And to be honest, skill is getting little to no attention these days, with most technical gurus focusing so much on juggling tennis balls and completing 500 passes in 30 minutes. Take Harry Kane as an example. I'm sure you have come across those training clips where he had the Tottenham training staff helping him set up and execute those finishing drills that mimic the finishing positions he gets into during games. Although I'm sure he also gets exposure to rep-based passing and finishing drills, it is during those position-specific drills that he manages to stress the skill of finishing, not just shooting as a technical aspect. Don't get me wrong though, I have no problem with rep-based drills if their training load is altered appropriately. However, if you're not putting yourself inside the chaos of the game that much, you're leaving a lot of potential for development on the table. And apart from training with your team, you can replicate that game chaos when training individually, at least to some degree. So what does a position-specific drill need to consist of in order to mimic that chaos? To make this simple for you, a position-specific drill needs to solve a position-specific problem. And usually, that requires a technical, a tactical, and even sometimes a cognitive, physical, or psychological stimulus. These 2 to 5 components make up a position-specific drill. No fancy things, no cone setup that reminds of an airport, no technical guru. Here, simplicity is king. But what is the step-by-step process to actually create a drill that helps you become a better player in your position? The process is easy and I like to split it up into 4 steps. First, sit down, take a piece of paper, and analyze your game. Just like many other top players do, you have to study the game in general, and more specifically, your positional roles and duties. So how are you and how should you be functioning while the team is attacking or while the team is defending? What are the specific duties that your coach requires you to take on? Then, it is time to recognize and identify 2 things. Number 1, the most common game problems you have to solve in your position, and number 2, the most common game patterns you follow playing that position. Now the next step is pretty crucial and allows players just like Harry Kane to get a really high ROI on their training. Many technical gurus brag about how effective their position-specific drills are, but in reality, the problems involved in those drills are not game-like, let alone position-specific. So, once you got your position analyzed and formed a better picture of your roles and duties, it is time to actually solve those game problems and use those solutions in training. Let's take wingers as an example here. A really common pattern of their game is to beat players one-on-one and then either cross or finish. Now the game-specific problem of that pattern is A, beating the player one-on-one, B, deciding whether to shoot or cross the ball, and C, deciding which technique is more appropriate to the scenario. From just a single game pattern, we are able to extract a handful of scenarios and solutions to a problem that wingers are required to solve more often than not. And of course, the process of designing the actual drill couldn't be left out. Just be creative here. Play with the shapes, the angles and directions, the distances, and all of the constraints you want to put on yourself. But please do not neglect the 2 quote-unquote secrets about technical skill development that I'm about to share with you. Number 1, use visualization to supplement your skill training. Nothing special, all you need to do is lay down on your bed for 5 to 10 minutes every other day, close your eyes, and deeply focus your thoughts on successfully executing a specific skill with excellence. Athletes like Michael Phelps and Cristiano Ronaldo use this all the time, either at home, at practice, or in game. And no, I'm not pulling out random things here out of my mouth. The research heavily backs up the use of visualization. And on top of visualization, research also points out that you're more likely to increase your success rate if you're actively tracking it. So next time you're going to train a game skill, set a specific number of reps, then set a success rate goal that is pretty challenging yet achievable, and track your success rate over time. This will put you into a competitive mode to constantly beat your past self and further increase your skill level. Tiny little changes or additions like these can compound over time and lead to significant improvements. You just gotta be consistent. Having said that, if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and share it with someone else, and watch this video next to really take your technical skill to the next level.